What is going on, guys? I'm Nick. Welcome back to the channel, and we're going to get right into it. We've got another case from TAC, and this is one that I've been extremely excited for because the TAC cases are on the extreme minimal side, and that's something I'm a big fan of. So with this one, this is going to be their standard 1.0 case, and starting with the packaging, you get the TA right at the top, and it does bend around the entire packaging, which is really nice to see. If you move down here towards the bottom, you can see it says TAC. And then it says thin cases and everyday tech accessories. Aside from that, it's pretty much an all white box. Down here, you get a little bit more information, designed in Arizona. Cool to see that. You can also see their socials right there. But that is really all there is to take note of. There's just a little magnet closure back here. You can see that. And then it just flaps open just like this. You're greeted with a little quote, think thin, and then the case itself. That is really all that comes in here. You have a little QR code right there that you can scan. Set the packaging to the side. And then we have our case, which is definitely an extremely thin case. If you're not a fan of minimal cases, this is definitely not the option for you. I wouldn't recommend it to you. But if you are someone who enjoys thin cases, then this is definitely an option. You can see it's an extremely soft case, has a little bit of bend to it right there, and you can see it is one that has no buttons. So if you really enjoy the feel of the buttons on the phone itself, then this is pretty much a perfect case. But there's nothing to take note of. MagSafe is not integrated, but you can purchase these as well. These are also from TAC. I have a black and white version right here. These are pretty much just little circles of metal that help you adhere it to the back of the case, and then that pretty much is your implementation of MagSafe. But considering how thin the case is, MagSafe is more than likely going to work through it, but we'll test that as we go on. So let's go ahead and grab the phone, which is right here, the iPhone 15 Pro, and let's just snap it in. And you can see like that, a very nice fit. There is your case. And from here, you can't really tell how thin it is or anything like that, but the feel in the hand is insane because you do have this very nice matte texture all the way around now, and it doesn't feel like there's really anything on the phone. You can see how thin it is around the sides, places like that. But let's go ahead and start real quick with our test, starting with the fit test. You can see right here, it does have a pretty minimal amount of pull by the buttons. There is some pull to take note of, as you can see right there. Over on the top, just a tiny bit as well. And the bottom, where that port is at, there is a little bit there too. But on the corners where it's most important, you can see there's no pull at all. Super nice to see that. Moving over to the back, you do have a decent camera lip, especially for an extremely minimal case like this. So you can see right here, those lenses are very nicely protected. So really nothing to worry about. Let's go ahead and do the wobble test and see how much this case wobbles, if at all, when it comes to typing and things like that. So down here at the bottom where you're normally going to be typing, you see there's really nothing going on. No wobble to take note of. It's not going to be until you get up to the top, especially that top left corner. And you can see there is a pretty significant amount of wobble. That is completely expected because if you want to have a slim case like this with camera protection, that's just kind of something you're going to have to come to terms with. It's really not the case's fault there. But moving over to the front, I do have a tempered glass screen protector on here, so there's pretty much no lip going on, almost nothing to take note of. So when you place your phone screen down, your screen protector is most likely going to be taking the brunt of that. But if you don't have a screen protector, then this case does provide just the smallest lip, just enough so that your screen isn't touching the table or whatever surface you put your phone down on. Now looking over at the sides, you can of course see the cutouts right here. Those are just going to be the plain buttons on the phone, so I'm not going to be testing them really. They are extremely simple to get to, so really nothing to worry about there. The case is the same material all the way through, so when you get down here to the bottom, you do see very nice port for your USB-C port, and then very precise cutouts for your speaker and your microphone over on the bottom. As for the right side, completely plain as well, same texture throughout. And then your power button, which is also a cutout, you can see right there, works perfectly fine. Really nothing to worry about. Over on the top, it is completely closed, which is very nice to see because some of these minimal cases, they leave big cutouts, things like that. I know not everyone is a fan of that. So this does cover all of that titanium around the edges. Now, of course, now the case does not have MagSafe, but we are going to continue testing it. And I can say it does work fairly well. So starting with the Spigen OMAG ring, as always, this is a foam grip and stand in one. I'm gonna try and snap this on, and you can see it does stick just fine. Now, it is definitely not the strongest MagSafe because of the fact that there's no magnets. You are putting a pretty nice amount of material in between the phone's magnets and the magnets of your accessory, so it does pull off a little easy. But let's try this down here as a stand. Tapping away, it does hold its own. It holds its own actually really well. So if you're just going to be using it as a stand, then you don't have really anything to worry about. You can see it's not falling off. So definitely nice to take note of that. But let's go ahead and test out one more. This is the Apple MagSafe battery pack. We're going to snap this on. You can, of course, since it is such a thin case, it's going to MagSafe charge, wireless charge just fine. But let's try out some drops. Okay, I did feel it kind of come off right there. And it came off again. So yeah, it's definitely not going to be the strongest MagSafe. If you really want the most MagSafe strength when it comes to a case like this, I definitely recommend picking up one of these little magnet attachment rings or MagSafe plus rings, something like that. These are going to be a game changer for sure because they actually have a ton of MagSafe strength. But either way, you're still going to be able to wirelessly charge just fine. And I do still want to do the wallet test since that is a big one for me. If you guys have been watching the channel, you already know that. I need my cases to work with my MagSafe wallet. So we're going to snap this on. You do still get that little animation right there. And I can feel the magnet pulling on this one. It does seem pretty slick considering it's leather on the material of the case right here. But doing a false drop. And there it goes. But again, the case does not advertise MagSafe as its #1 strong suit or anything like that, so I'm not upset about it. Just something to keep in mind if you're planning on picking this case up. I would use my wallet with this case, but I would definitely be pretty cautious about it. So just to be aware. Now, we are still going to do the Base One test. This is the Base One from Nomad, completely covered in fingerprints right now. Sorry about that. But this base weighs a little over 1 pound. So we're just going to go ahead and see if this case can lift it. Despite it not having any magnets, how strong is it really? So we're going to snap it on just like this. You can see wireless charge just fine. And only touching the phone itself, can it lift this base? And it wants to. It definitely does. I can feel it kind of lifting it. But it's not coming up. So that is really it for this one. It is not going to pass the Base One test. We can set this back to the side. And that's really the MagSafe test. Not the strongest MagSafe we've seen for sure, but if you really, really want MagSafe, there are those rings that you have to pick up additionally. Aside from that, as a very minimal case, well, what most people are calling in this case, or a style of case like this, is pretty much a skin on steroids. It's not promising any crazy drop protection. It's not telling you that you can pick up bricks with the MagSafe or anything like that. It is just pretty much scratch protection. It's going to protect against pretty minimal drops. But aside from that, I'm a minimal case person. I love my minimal cases. So I'm definitely going to be using this one. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Do you guys agree? Do you guys prefer larger, bulkier cases? Or do you like having a phone that feels pretty much the way it did out of the box? Do you prefer having those naked buttons, things like that? Anyways, that is pretty much it for this one, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit that like button down below. And if you want to see more like the standard case 3.0 that's going to be coming out pretty soon, which is pretty much an upgraded version of this case, remember to subscribe. If you help me out like that, it means a ton to me and it helps the channel cover a ton more stuff. Remember to leave recommendations in the comments down below of any cases or accessories that you want to see. I will respond to everyone. It takes me a bit, but I will get to you, I promise. That's it for this one, guys, and I'll see y'all in the next one.